you want to learn from the greatest art teacher in the world, check out Visual Storytelling by Bill Perkins only at New Masters Academy, the world's absolute #1 online art school. Click the link down below for a free 7-day trial. Thank you, New Masters Academy. I am in your mind. I am in your. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Honey and Acid After Hours podcast. We're your host, I'm Vincent, back designer for the Hollywood animation industry.
And I'm Janet, the ex-Disney artist turned independent creator, and this is a podcast about all things art, business, and whatever we feel like.
Now today we're going to talk about how social media is changing and how you shouldn't miss out on this opportunity.
But before we get into it, make sure to smash, jingle, touch, flick all our bells and buttons.
Gently, everyone. Very gently.
Please and thank you.
Take that mouse, hover it over that bulbous thing, and press it.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. You look absolutely fantastic. The year is 2022, and you are looking like the best you that has ever existed.
You look great. You're doing great. You're going to have a great week. It's Monday, and we're going to kill it this week.
You. Especially you. Now, we are hitting social media really hard again.
Yes.
After experimenting with all sorts of things, like, I don't know, you've been into doing traveling content and finance content. Now, like, I don't know, sort of productivity?
Yes.
Oh, you are such an eclectic woman.
Yes. It's actually, this is the stuff I wanted to do from the beginning, but then I felt pressured to do, like, art stuff.
Because, everyone does art stuff.
Yeah, and it's just, everyone thinks that's what I'm going to do. Because,
dance, monkey!
Yeah.
Do the art thing, dance, monkey!
Yeah.
So, I guess last year was a year of self-discovery for you. We've been hitting the Instagrams and the TikToks and all the social media. We're still posting on YouTube. We're hitting it pretty hard after taking a break because things got crazy.
Yes.
I feel like, so, for example, let's start with Instagram in terms of like where we started off and like using the thing. When I used Instagram, I was about to graduate college. And then that's when I used to post like cafe sketches and all that stuff. And that used to be super big. It's not really that big anymore.
No, yeah.
Like how much engagement does that get? No,
I mean, it's a big app, but in terms of like your ability to grow and stuff, it's not that great anymore. And it has been declining ever since TikTok came on the scene.
And then like we've been using TikTok, we've been using Instagram for like 8 years or something.
Yes.
Before TikTok.
Yeah.
And then as soon as this TikTok thing came out, the first time we've ever heard it, we were like, oh, it's that thing for kids.
Yeah.
And I remember telling the story of like, oh wait, when I said that, I remembered me from way back then in Instagram when my friend told me way like maybe my first year in college, like you should start an Instagram. I told him, no way, man. What is that food app? I'm not gonna post my art there.
My first...
Little did I know.
Yeah. I didn't want to post on I didn't want an Instagram account either. That reminds me, the first time I got an Instagram, I don't even think I was the one that signed up. One of my friends signed me up. I was like, yeah, I was in college, I think, and I had the same reaction. Like, isn't that just the app where you post your food? Like, I don't eat interesting food. Like, I don't want to tell people what I'm eating. And then I was visiting one of my friends in college, and she took my phone, and I think she downloaded Instagram for me and made me an account, and she posted my very first Instagram photo for me. And if you go back to my personal Instagram, all the way at the very bottom,
oh, it's the pizza picture.
It's like black and white picture of me eating a pizza. It's very candid. Like, she took it and posted it for me, and then I was like, I guess I have Instagram now. And then I never posted on it again until I realized much later on that it's like semi-useful.
I had to persuade you.
Yes.
When I was really into Instagram,
Yeah.
I got hired in a theme park design job, I think 2015-ish, I think.
Yeah.
And then that's when you were trying to get hired, and I was like, it helps at least like get noticed.
Yeah.
You tried taking Instagram a little bit more seriously.
Even when you told me that, I still didn't care. When I did care was when I realized it helps with social media sales. when we started doing our conventioning.
And then we started heading conventioning hard.
And that's when I actually gave a shit about it.
For like 4 years, we hit it really hard. But then we realized like the diminishing returns of Instagram. By the year, it would get harder and harder to grow, and you'd have to do more and more absurdist stuff, like follow challenges and do challenges, and not really like draw what you want to draw.
Yeah,
you know,
there wasn't ever really an app that we were on the forefront. Like, I guess Instagram was supposed to be our app, like the millennial app, but like we're technically on like the younger end of the millennial generation.
I think we were driving to watch some sort of vintage movie, and I was telling you, like, man, the next time the next big killer app after Instagram comes, we're gonna hit it hard.
Yeah,
we're gonna hit it so goddamn hard.
So when TikTok finally came around, we were on it.
Yeah, at first we were hesitant though.
Yeah.
And I wish we got on it when we were hesitant. I think we sat on TikTok for a whole year. We first heard about it because you heard Gary Vee, because you're super into Gary Vee. Talk about him. The app. I think when were we living in the apartment? 2017?
2016, 2017.
2016, 2017.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, TikTok. But then we would always be like, okay, first of all, it seems like it's for little kids. And second of all, we couldn't we didn't understand like what we draw. Because when Vine came out, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool that people do the cool Vine thing, but it's not like I can do that with drawing.
Yeah, how do we participate as artists?
Yeah, I had no idea. And then, I don't know what it was. You and I were like, fuck it, let's download it.
Yeah.
Let's download it and see what this is about.
All about, yeah.
And then I remember looking at the content going like, I'm so confused for like the first 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 10 minutes, I was like scrolling like, oh, what do? You scroll? Wait, where's the gallery? You don't go to a gallery? Like, what is... So you just like go onto this infinite loop of videos? Like, I don't understand. And then you scroll, and then you understand like, oh, like there's patterns. There's like people doing the same stuff. Those are called trends.
Yeah.
And they like happen organically, especially way back then. Now corporations like
try to make trends,
manipulate things so it makes it look like a trend's organic, but it's just a way to advertise.
Yeah,
Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
everybody. But then like when we were still like looking at the app going like, what the heck are we going to do with this? But then we just try it, and we try all sorts of different things. I was immediately thinking about like what I would do with Instagram stories, because back then Instagram stories hasn't really changed much. You know, it's you get to bust out your phone, you press the button, and then you stop pressing the button. That's part of your story. So like I was thinking like I would like make a story, real quick one on Instagram about like, oh, this is me drawing something from start to finish.
We were doing Inktober at the time.
We were doing Inktober and also showing off stuff during conventions. So like we were often taking video, but like nothing that like was very stylish or nothing that told a story other than like, this is what we're doing in the time and place. So we were thinking like, okay, what more could we do with this? And then Inktober came along, and then we had this ridiculous idea of like, we were really infatuated with the whole idea that like in TikTok, everything's like a music video.
Yes.
Because you're making content with your favorite song or pop song, whatever's popular these days. It's in the background. So everything kind of yields itself to and kind of, it wants you to like edit along to the music.
Yes.
And like we were thinking like, oh, what if we like did some drawings, and since we were looking at TikTok, we saw some of those transitional videos where you like creatively show one transition to another. We were like, oh, what if it was like a drawing video, but like it was a ton of transitions, and it's just crazy and ADD, and then we just like get the kids super on board, you know?
Yeah.
And then what do we do? I don't know. Maybe after this Inktober, we'll draw a ton of My Hero characters.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
I think we were most inspired by the trends at the time. Very organic. Like, we were so amused by TikTok immediately because it's hilarious compared to Instagram.
Yeah, it's the first time where I was like, oh, shit, people are actually having fun here.
Yeah, on social media.
People like they walk on eggshells on Instagram. You have to be like a certain way. You can't be
be professional.
You have to be professional and all that stuff.
Your page has to look a certain way. It's curated and nice.
In a way, anybody who was using TikTok around 2019 was thinking like, I hope no one I know finds this. Because everyone, especially around our age, was using TikTok like I don't know, way like probably double the demographic it's aimed for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were all just like, we're doing this for fun. Yeah. And no one must know.
Yeah. Like it's stupid. It's so stupid and cringy and fun that we were just like we hope none of our coworkers find out because they'll just ruin it.
So
I can't be myself anymore.
Right, exactly. So we keep this little secret of like we have this little project of like we're gonna make really good TikTok videos.
Yes.
And then we go like, we're gonna reach 100K on TikTok by the end of this year. Let's do it. And then we had this lofty goal of reaching 100K in like I think
in 3 months.
In 3 months or something like that. But like
we did it.
We kind of did it. You drew a ton of My Hero characters. You started posting 3 times a week. All of this stuff.
That was when the algorithm on TikTok was still really, really easy to get views. Like literally.
Yeah, and this is what I was like. This is what I want to talk about. Like the craziest part was like, you know, when we were on Instagram. And then, like, you post something, and no one sees it, or every so often there's, like, a small blip. Oh, like, 2 people liked it. Yeah. You open up, like, TikTok, and it's just overflowing with follows and likes and all this attention. It's probably Chinese bots.
Yes.
Probably.
To get like, your dopamine up.
But, like, low-key, it kind of, like, does stuff. To your mind.
Yeah, it really rewards you.
Yeah.
For being for anything, for every little thing.
Every little thing. And it's just like it's crazy to like wake up and see yourself jump 10K in like a night.
Our first day we got to 10K. I think it was something crazy like that. We posted like maybe 1 or 2 TikToks the minute like we opened the app. Because we were like, let's just try it out. And then we jumped like crazy and we were like, what? Because like you don't understand the grind at the time that we had on Instagram.
Oh,
it took
awful.
I think a year to get to 10K on Instagram, and to it's like at least bare minimum an hour every single day of like engaging with other people, posting and like scheduling, like just so much just to get to 10K. And we got to like 10K in like a day on TikTok. So like imagine the dopamine coming into our brains.
This is insane.
We're like, what is going on?
How is this even possible?
And then we took part in like a few trends.
So I want to talk about how we reached a million views in one post.
Oh yes.
So like you were at Disney.
Yeah.
And I was like looking through TikTok, and I think I was at work, and I was looking at TikTok at work, and then there was the doong, a doong, a doong, 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 a doong, a doong.
Yeah.
That like sound.
Yeah.
And you know, if you don't know how to use TikTok, I'll help you a little bit. It behooves you to make content along to a song.
Yes.
And often the song comes with a trend.
Yes.
So you can look at, like, if you find a song on TikTok, you click on it, and then you can see all of the videos that people make content for. Mm-hmm. And it's basically like, you might look at it like a gallery. It's, to me, the top ranking videos for that song.
Yeah.
And then top ranking videos for that trend, basically. And like, there's this trend where like often there's a sound where it's like really cute or has a pattern, and then there's like a drop, like a drop, an EDM drop, and then something happens in the story of what you're trying to tell. So in this trend, I was looking at stuff through work, and then it's a lot of like people like it looks like at school with their really silly, peachy folder line paper drawings with like for the first half of the sound it goes dung dung.
It's like a bad drawing.
It's like a bad drawing.
And then it transitions.
And then when the sound drops, it transitions into a really, really good drawing or a better drawing.
Yeah.
Because the previous drawing is basically stick figures.
Yes.
So I was thinking like, oh, are you busy at work?
I was like, no.
Hey, can you do this thing where you like draw that thing that you drew, that you painted this thing recently? Can you like draw like a very iconic version of that shorthand while holding a phone, and then like do a transitional swipe into the final drawing, that painting that you did like a few weeks ago, because you finished this painting of this green girl.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a really nice painting.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, but okay, so the challenge is, there's a really nice image at the end. We have a really nice image, so we just like do it backwards. Yeah. So we have the nice image, and I tell you to shorthand the image that you made with like basically
my storyboarding, whatever.
Your storyboarding program, like just line-based stuff. Yeah. I think it was Photoshop. Was it Photoshop?
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like you were telling me, you think I can do this trend really, really well because I'm a storyboard artist and I can do a really iconic. Like everyone's scribble was like not great.
Oh yeah,
Because for one, you have to draw to the timing of the audio.
That's right. I forgot about that.
While you're holding a phone in the other hand. So you don't realize how hard that is until you try to do it. I had to do like maybe 5 times or something to get the timing right. And you were telling me like, you're like made for this. You use your storyboarding ability.
Just do it, dance, monkey.
Do
the monkey dance.
Just do it. Like use that thing that you drew that went like that drawing actually went viral on Instagram when we put. So like we already knew people really like that drawing. So you're like you can like do this trend, and like up until this point we maybe get like anywhere between like 10,000 to like 30,000 views per video or so. This I do it, and like you pick me up from work. Like it was right before
I pick you up from work, and I think it hits 80 or something like that.
Yeah, and we're like,
and I was like, oh my!
I had just posted it.
God.
I like 10 minutes later.
Yeah,
I check it. I wonder how many views it got, and it's like 80.
And then I think we're getting like lunch or something, or we're getting late lunch or something. And then I pick you up from lunch. And then I drop you back at work. But like as things are going down during lunch, this post just keeps climbing from 80 to 100 to 150 to 200, all in the span of like a few minutes. And I'm just like, my mind is blown, and I'm just like, what is going on? This is insane. And I was just thinking like, that was so easy to do back then.
So that day we went from like maybe 20-30K on TikTok. We had just gotten it too. To like 80 something. In no time. And I was like, what the heck? And this is like the first time we ever got any kind of content that went super viral that got like millions of views. And we were like, this is something. Like to have this would have taken years on Instagram to get to 80K for us, especially as artists who like don't really show our faces. We didn't really know how at the time. So we decided to like hit this really hard, and like we had another few viral hits. I had like animated this other trend. Again, it's like we didn't realize what we were doing at the time, but we were really like trying to do the best version of every trend that we saw. So like that was like, oh, we can do what I saw a lot of people say in that post was like the first drawing, like the scribble, is better than any of the normal drawings that I make or whatever. And then so it's like a lot of people being like, whoa, this is so good, like you won. Usually it's like, here's your crown, queen, or whatever. And then the second time was when people did this thing back in the day where like you would make like a character select on TikTok. It's like you're pretending to be in a video game and you have like attributes that you assign yourself.
I still see people do it once in a while.
Yeah, and then you do it to the sound where you like turn like a character select model and just turn back and forth. And I was like, okay, the best people who do this are dancers. We're not dancers, so we can't do it very smoothly. But what I can do is animate myself, like do like a little transition where you think I'm going to do the trend, but then it transitions into like an animated version of me. So literally, I'm literally animating an actual character select of myself. And that was like that brought us to like 100 something. But it's from there we realized that like, oh, doing this on My Hero stuff and this fan art, it's like so lucrative. It's so easy. Like we need to do what we missed out on Instagram, where we were way too late to hit like 100K, to hit 1 million, whatever. But we can do it here. But then like 2020 hits, we had this goal of reaching like 200K. And in 2020, things got difficult almost immediately.
And not fun because no one was innovating with the trends.
Yeah.
The sounds were all the same all the time. The trending hashtags were all the same.
Yeah.
It felt like TikTok it felt like it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah. I think TikTok got a huge influx of users because of quarantine. And the algorithm just got really, really difficult. And so we were stuck in like 100 something for a while. It was like so difficult just to get to 200K because like what we used to do just was getting fewer and fewer and fewer views. So these transitional drawings, which normally would get anywhere between like 50 to 100K per, like the next month would only get maybe like 30 at most. And then the next month it would get worse and worse and worse.
And not only that, I think the mental health of everybody was declining at the time. So like just people were like raging.
Yes.
Oh, and there was tons of footage of like riots and looting.
Yes.
At the time too.
Yeah.
And that was upset. I go to TikTok to be entertained.
Yeah. So
and not look at that stuff.
It just wasn't really giving us the dopamine as much anymore, and like the grind is really hard. Like to post 3 TikToks a day,
that's insane.
That was on top of doing like YouTube videos and everything. I was like burning myself, both of us, we were burning ourselves hardcore. You're still working and I was like working like constantly. I was working constantly.
It was insanity.
But we had this like goal of like reaching 200K for whatever reason, and then once we reached it, we were just kind of so burnt out that we were like, it's not really worth it anymore.
And we started because we were so energized creatively.
Yeah.
And then by then we were already like, I don't know, I have nothing else to do or say.
Yeah, especially because on YouTube, I was going through a really transitional period where I think right after I came onto YouTube with my Why I Quit video, it going viral, there was so much pressure to succeed for me. And succeed in a way that like other people wanted me to succeed. Like they wanted me to do art stuff. They wanted me to
change the industry.
Yeah, they wanted me to be a martyr for them. They wanted so much from me, and I felt like I needed to do that, partly because being an artist was my identity at the time, but there was another part of me that was like starting to develop that was like, I'm actually more interested in just the art of filmmaking. Like I love making vlogs, I love making YouTube videos, but if I'm constantly like in this mode of like I have to do talking head videos and educate people and draw all the time, which like I've been drawing like most of my life, it's not exactly something I'm super passionate about anymore. It's a talent that I have, like I worked really hard for, but I'm just like, do I want to become the best artist ever, or do I want to pursue this really new exciting thing that I don't know how to do, that's filmmaking, which is like kind of why I even got into storyboarding to begin with. So I was in this like transitionary period, and I was like really burnt out, and I was like, I don't know if I want to draw anymore. Like I reached that point where like I've literally been working my ass off every single day to post 3 TikToks a day, to have like a drawing for every single vlog, and to make like 3 YouTube videos a week. Like I was burnt out, and I was like, I don't love this anymore, and this is making me want to not ever touch a pencil, paint anything, do anything related to drawing for a while. And I want to focus on making good YouTube videos. I want to travel, I want to do all these things. So we made the really hard decision to stop. It was really hard. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I was trying to convince you, like, no, this is really important that we not post anymore.
I was
on
like,
TikTok
what?
and
really?
Instagram. Yeah.
Like if this was our thing.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, you know what? This might be, because like we were focused on how do you do the YouTube thing without touching a pencil?
Yeah.
Like because if you feel this way, we need to figure out what we're gonna do if you don't want to draw anymore.
Yeah, like I felt like a dancing monkey.
Dance, monkey, dance.
I was like,
Draw, monkey, draw.
do people really only value me for my talent?
And like, oh, I like the way she draws. I want to get her style and all that stuff. I want to draw like her. But then
it didn't feel like anyone
nothing.
cared.
No care past
that. Like, they don't care about me. They don't care about my face. They don't care about anything. So we decided to stop, which was really hard. I think a lot of people don't. I think a lot of people burn themselves out and keep going until it gets really bad mentally, and just they don't know why they've committed their life to something. And I was just like, I didn't want to literally replace the hell that I was experiencing at Disney for like my own
personal hell.
Yeah, that I gave myself. So we stopped. And then in 2021, I had no idea about all this, but like there was so much TikTok drama, apparently.
Yeah, it was a good year. 2021 was a good year to take a break from social media.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it seemed as though everybody kind of was thinking about that. There was a whole mental health awareness movement thing that happened last year.
There was like hype house drama, a lot of drama with people we know peripherally on TikTok, of just like kind of like YouTube back in the day when like people were getting like
and mind you, like the people who were killing it on TikTok were very like, that was a small group of people. So we kind of like
new people.
It's crazy that group was so small. There's like comedians in that group, there's artists, there's like just trendsetters, and like we would all like wink and nod at each other. Like, isn't this crazy? Like that Paul Rudd thing. Like, oh, isn't this crazy? like we're all here doing this crazy thing, and everyone and we're getting a following and all this stuff. But then at the same time, we were noticing a lot of those people get into trouble. And then like,
maybe they're not so good people, and people getting Me Too'd. Oh my god, lots of drama happened. But then after my finding myself phase in 2021, realizing that like, oh, I like traveling, I like self-development, I like all the finances and all the types of videos that I post now, and realizing that like, oh, okay, now that I was lost for a while, I didn't really know what exactly I wanted to do outside of like drawing. But then once I found myself again, I'm like, okay, I can make social media content about this. So we felt like 2022, this is like new year, new me, literally, and just like we can hit it hard again. Let's try this, and let's see how much has changed. Let's do it.
But then one caveat though. Every single time we made content back then, it required some sort of drawing.
Yes.
And that drawing would take energy and time out of your day.
Yes.
A day in which you're already trying to like, video yourself and edit all those videos. And post and all that stuff. So we were thinking like, what if we did everything but then didn't draw?
Yeah. What if we just were like normal people on the internet who don't draw for like 10 hours a day?
Yeah. And that would be great. And I wonder if we could somehow like get something out of this. If not, and I would tell you like, we're going to try to do this, and like if anything we'll at least build some skills by the end of the year. If anything.
Because if
nothing pops, if we lose all of the followers on the social media because everyone's upset that we're not doing the monkey dance anymore. Like that's fine.
That's fine, yeah.
But like at the end of the year, if we post as much of like ourselves, personal, like, or putting ourselves out there, in quotes, content, maybe we'll gain some sort of really good skill to add to our talents.
Yeah, this wasn't like to grow. Not really, actually. No. We're like, well, if I am going to pursue this traditional influencer life, basically as a person on the internet who has to perform, we both wanted to get better at performing, at being on camera, being more natural, all this stuff. And we thought, like, what better than to just be on camera all the time? And we were
make it a habit every day.
Yeah,
an hour every day to spend time in front of a camera and act a fool.
Yes.
So it gets easier and easier and easier and easier.
Like, one of my goals is to be able to just whip out our phone and just to talk to it, no problem. Because right now I go like, What do I say? Still, after like 2
but then
years.
like back then, Jan was so bad. She was so bad. So bad. Like she could hardly even come up with a sentence.
Yes.
She'd have to cut up a whole sentence. Now you cut up a few sentences.
Yeah.
But it used to be words just to form a sentence.
So beginning of 2022, it was more like a self-improvement challenge. We had no intention of it doing anything, growing, whatever. But we're realizing that the entire landscape of social media has changed since we left in a year.
Yeah, and it's crazy though. But like I was about to say, like when I came back from that music lesson once, you said one of our random like had nothing to do with drawing pieces of content on the short form media platforms popped.
Yeah.
And I was like getting nauseous. I was like, wait, what? Because I made a deal with myself in my head. I was like, you know what? We're so bad at this. We're never ever going to get anything to pop.
Yeah.
But like, it would be great if because we're planning on doing this a whole year just for like a challenge for ourselves.
Yeah.
What if we do it for a whole year? One of them is bound to pop.
Yeah.
And then one of them did early on. I was just like, oh, this is freaky.
Yeah.
But then like, because we're doing this, we're becoming super students of social media again.
Yes.
And we're learning so much about social media that like, in the time that we were gone, which was about like 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, something like that.
Like a lot of stuff has changed. For example, when Reels first came out, I want to say like the beginning of 2021-ish.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. I think Reels is about a year old-ish now.
Yeah.
So when Reels first came out, we had been using TikTok for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd been using TikTok for a while, so I'm like using it and thinking this is horrible. It's glitchy, it crashes. It still crashes once in a while. I'm still really upset with Reels, but back then it was so much worse than it is. But when Reels first came out, all everyone was doing was just reposting their TikToks.
Yes, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
had such like a year of backlogs that we were literally just repost it. It's just like we would say like, oh, TikTok gets the new stuff and then Instagram gets the reruns, basically. Yeah.
And that's how we thought of it. And then that's how we, formulated our social media plan back then.
Yeah.
But like now we're thinking about like, oh, how are we going to attack this? And it's just so crazy that like in the year that Reels has been out to mature, something to me very fascinating has happened. And it's that Instagram has found a voice for Reels for its short form. We're just going to call it short form content.
Yeah.
Just colloquially, so that like we can describe YouTube Shorts, TikToks, and Instagram Reels as like one thing.
Yeah.
So like for short form content, Instagram was starting to really come up with a lot of videos about like this aesthetic scene.
Yes.
And then dramatic, pleasant music in the background, which is very like, it's almost like a moving photo, right?
Yes.
So you scroll on Instagram Reels and you see a lot of that. There's a lot of that. But then like this crazy thing is happening, and it's vlogs.
Yeah.
Vlogs are huge. Yeah. They're insane. Vlogs are going insane on Instagram in particular. Like TikTok's still like about comedy, personality, all that stuff. But Instagram, because it's so stuffy and millennial and about like appearances and my life is so great. Like there's a lot of content about like motivated, highly motivated people waking up early in the morning and then like killing it at the gym and then eating right and then but like having time to do fun, interesting things and date fascinating, handsome, beautiful people. All of this like my life is so great vlog content, which is like that did not exist. That never even existed on TikTok. Really, the closest thing that you do that TikTokers did was like this. I prefer this. I prefer the thing that TikTokers do, where like they do a very like they wake up with their phone and then like they brush their teeth in front of the mirror and then they put on their shoes and like go to school, and then as all of these events are happening in video, there's a playback where because you like can add your voice in the playback of a TikTok, and they're narrating their story of like, this is what time I wake up, and it's almost like very like first person diary. It's like a little mini visual diary, and that's what I like. But like the Instagram way is very like, it needs to look pretty. Your bed needs, even though you just woke up from your bed, it needs to look made, like super made, and everything's super tidy. Everything's all about the aesthetic, but then also the shallow like, ooh, I don't have that life. I need to have that life.
Yeah, don't you like looking at my perfect life? I wake
life
up
is so perfect.
Yeah, so we come back to everything, and like what we used to see on TikTok, what most people think of TikTok and short form content is like Charli D'Amelio, like Dancing Monkey. Like, why would I do TikTok? Because it's just the only way you can get popular is if you're a 15-year-old beautiful girl who dances.
Just dances.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's the thing. Like, we don't say Dancing Monkey as a pejorative. It's like this thing that like, people expect Charli D'Amelio to dance. People expect us to draw. Anybody who's an artist to draw. People like just expect a certain thing.
And like comedian to be funny. And only be funny. Like they can't just be. They can't just exist or whatever. Or a musician play the
guitar.
Thing.
Sing the song.
You want to talk to me? No, I don't want to see that. Play my favorite song. Like that's what we mean by Dancing Monkey. Like I feel like a dancing monkey being forced to like perform for you with my funny talent, and it changed where I talked about before that like I started noticing when I went back to TikTok, people would literally TikTok increased the video limit from, it used to be 30 seconds, then it became a minute, now it's 3 minutes, and I think it's trying to train people to watch vertical content, but long form. Like I think the end goal here is to be the TikTok of YouTube, like the YouTube of TikTok. For YouTube
to just be the, the old way, and for TikTok to be the new YouTube of vertical video. That's what it seems like, where it seems like it's going. Because when you told me like, it went from, I think when we were on it, the longest you could do is a minute. It went from a minute to 3 minutes, and I told you, oh, this is insane. Because like, it's gonna turn from 3 minutes to 5 minutes to 10 minutes. They're like making it longer and longer, and they're waiting for people to adopt the 3 minute thing. And like, no matter how much we bust people's balls about, oh, everyone's not brave enough to do TikTok, man, doing a 3 minute TikTok,
scary.
That's scary. That's like that's a lot of time that you have, like, you have to command from your audience. But then like when I see people pull off a 3 minute TikTok, I'm like, what did the kids say? Here's your crown.
Oh yeah.
Like seriously, like so the ones that you like that can like carry a TikTok for 3 whole minutes are like ladies who like talk about their drama, gossip, chismis, like all sorts of like the bullshit that happens in their life, and like everyone's just like cathartically rubbing their nipples of like, yes, queen, just talk more about that shit, because like that's like my life.
There's this girl, I think her name's Emily. She has like the craziest stories because she used to be a server, and then like she always says like, I'm crazy. Don't test me because I'm crazy. You really want to test this? You want to fight? Let's go. And so she has like the craziest stories, and she talks really fast, and she really holds my attention for 3 whole minutes.
3 whole minutes, dude.
And it's literally, she just sits there and is talking to you like you're her girlfriend or something, and you're just having like brunch, and she's just telling you like, look, this happened to me, and you won't believe what this person said to me, and then what happened after, and like, oh my god, like it's that kind of stuff that like is so. But then other people might do like truly, how do you get someone to stay on you for 3 minutes? That's insane. Like, no beautiful girl who just dances can do that.
And it sucks because my philosophy for making stuff is like, oh, keep it short and sweet. Always just like leave people wanting more. But then like when you do 3 minutes, it's like, what, like you have to keep people's attention for every 20 seconds. You know what I mean? Like every 20 seconds you'd assume someone's mind wanders and they want to just swipe up. That's the danger. It's so easy for someone to just swipe up. But that lady, for example, just commands her audience.
And so TikTok became this thing where like you started seeing a lot more vlogs, you started seeing a lot more people just sitting down and literally just talking to camera. And then like we said with Instagram, you start seeing like the Instagram version of that, the aesthetic version of that, where like it's more about like that girl content. It's
Explain what this new phenomenon. 2019, 2020, and 2021, there were thoughts.
There were thoughts, like basically e-girls, and what's the
Hydro Flask one?
The that girl. Yeah.
She's the most forgettable girl.
Yeah, but like, so that girl, there's like,
it's a new breed of girl.
It's basically an Instagram influencer. It's just like people who highlight how productive their life is and how...
Wait, that's like you.
Yes, but it's all for the aesthetic. Like, they might not necessarily be very productive or whatever. It's all about like, well, I wake up early and I have like perfect skin and perfect hair and perfect lighting and perfect bedding, and then I have the most perfect aesthetic looking acai bowl smoothie meal and then I drink lots of water and make myself a latte every morning, and then I journal and I'm perfect. I exercise every single day and I look hot. It's all for aesthetics. I am not the most aesthetic person, unfortunately.
You are to me, woman.
I am, like a train wreck in how I pursue my productivity. I am like, this is how I see most people who are very productive. Like crazy people who are just like, are not aesthetic about things because they don't got time for that. Like, if you're really productive, are you really gonna like perfectly place bananas on your smoothie bowl? Like, no, you're just gonna eat your oatmeal, okay?
Yeah, because you want to be efficient with your time.
Yeah, you're not trying to like video it for other people.
It takes so much time.
Yeah.
Just to make a TikTok is an hour of our lives
or more. Yeah.
So this personal, I guess, like New Year's resolution of trying to do more of this personality content. It's taking a whole hour out of our work week every day. And it's a little annoying.
Yeah.
You know, that's like an hour I used to do X, Y, and Z with that I really enjoyed that I have to do this.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I can really... I remember talking to this with you. Like, it feels like exciting again.
Yeah.
To be creative again.
It is.
Artistic.
It's sucking up so much time, but I'm enjoying it a lot more.
It. Yeah, but like you can't take for granted how much time it takes. So like when I see all of these that girls going like, my life is so productive. Man, you're like sitting on the toilet editing this thing for 30 minutes and your legs get numb and then you slap them and you're like, oh my god, like this TikTok's taking forever. And then you realize you posted it in your personal account and then you delete it and then you repost and then you take a whole another hour of your life.
That sounds too personal, like you've done that before. I've been listening to the book on rental property investing by Brandon Turner. I wish I read this book in high school. It is amazing. I want to quit everything and become a real estate mogul. If you also want to do the same thing, head over to audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe Podcast, where you will get one free audiobook. I highly recommend this book. That's audibletrial.com/the Honey and Absinthe Podcast. TikTok has 30 to 50-year-olds on it now, and they're doing well. Like, it's not like
they found an audience for themselves.
Yeah. But the problem is that, like, even though TikTok is now like really, really lucrative and a lot more than just trends and fun, it's still not that great in terms of monetization and audience. So like, what our mistake was when we grew to 200K and we treated TikTok with all that importance was that there was a very, very few amount of people that would go from TikTok to any other platform to support us. So it felt like if we wanted to grow our Instagram or our YouTube channel, TikTok wasn't really helping.
TikTok was just helping TikTok.
Yeah. And it really felt like if I was posting art at the time, that like very rarely are people going to go from TikTok to like my online store to buy something. They were there to see me do my monkey dance, but then once I did it, they just scrolled past. And unless I was able to get some kind of brand deal or monetize each view, then what was the point of this? At a certain point, I just felt like, what is the point? This feels like vanity metrics at a certain point. Whereas, like, at least on Instagram and on YouTube, if I was trying to advertise something like, oh, help support me, I have this new product out, I would actually get sales. So that means, like, the audience on these other platforms, in a way, are better. They're more valuable. They're more engaged audience. Where in TikTok, it feels like, honestly, it feels like a lot of bots. It feels like you're followed by a bunch of bots who don't interact with you. They just post the same comment on your video every single time. And so, like, I just felt like, dude, are these even real? Or
a lot of times it's little kids going, like, oh, Deku.
Yeah, something like that. So that's the flaw with TikTok, even to this day. I feel like I value our audience on other platforms a lot more now.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, I think, I don't want to put a hierarchy on it, but I really value our YouTube ones.
Yeah.
They're really funny.
Yeah.
I really go like, why?
Why do you watch us?
Why? Every time.
And then with Instagram, it's kind of become the new Facebook. Where, like, yeah, you can still kind of grow on it, especially now with Reels, and especially now that, like, people on Instagram, for whatever reason, are hesitant to adopt Reels. Like, people, I still see pages.
It feels like a generational thing.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of the older millennials are like, ooh, TikTok, poo-poo, poo-poo,
yeah, like, I don't want to clutter my feed with, like, Reels posts. So, like, I still see pages that are just photos. Not even video. Yeah. Not even any, like, so, for whatever reason. But the people who are adopting it and they understand how to use it because maybe they've been on TikTok or they just know how to use it. I've seen people grow like 10, 20K in a week just because they are adopting Reels right now. Like, it's not like they adopted it early on, because we grew really fast because we adopted it right when it came out. But even now, people are using the new, because you can't do what we did back then. If you posted the same kind of art content that we did when we first started, you probably won't grow now. I don't think people care about that type of content right now.
It was novel when we did it.
Yeah.
Very, very
and
novel.
That's how we grew. But now, like we said, vlogs are really big, and
it dovetails with what a lot of what we're doing on YouTube, because we're having a lot of fun making these vlogs.
Yeah, a lot, because, like, it feels more personal. I feel like I connect more with the people who like these type of videos.
You have more of a voice.
Yeah,
we're, like, really selecting all of these shots and piecing together our own little story for everybody.
Because I never wanted to come across as an educator. I don't feel comfortable in that role, and it's not my passion right now. Maybe one day, but, like, I'm not trying to, like, get students and, like, teach people right now.
Janet, where did your 20s go?
To animation and art school. I just
and where, like, how was your, like, life as a preteen teen in the 2010s? Nothing. That was like a lot of studying.
I just studied. Like, what people don't know about me is, like, the reason why I'm so into finances and all this stuff is because I grew up with people who, like, eventually went to, like, Ivy Leagues and stuff. Like, and I had to compete with that at a very young age. So, like, studying, if you weren't, like, hot, if you had strict parents who wouldn't allow you to be hot, you had to be nerdy. So if you wanted any value, if you wanted any friends. So, like, I had to care a lot about my grades, and I spent a lot of time taking AP classes and all this stuff. So my life, I didn't have a life until recently. Now I'm an adult, I can, like, go travel and do stuff. And I want to go do stuff. I don't want to, like, teach people how to be like me and like go do animation. I don't want to do that. So there are people who are growing really hard, like really fast right now because they have adopted this new form of Instagram Reels. And it's so easy to monetize that compared to TikTok because there's like the bonus program. And this content is like naturally geared towards brands. Like this aesthetic content, like people they want to know what product you're using. They want to live that life. They want to be like you. They want to know who you are.
Oh, they want to know what toothbrush you're using, what car you drive. I see what you mean.
So there's a lot of good money in Instagram Reels compared to TikTok, which that's like the only thing, in my opinion, Reels has going for it because it's older. It's like Facebook. I don't think people are doing it because they want to. I feel like people are doing it because they're obligated to most of the time. And I can see how like TikTok's still kind of the better app though, like in terms of like for that type of content.
Yeah, I've been editing all of the recent short form content we've been doing, and it's just a breeze on TikTok, except for the thing that I hate, that like it just keeps playing.
Yeah.
I wish it could stop or I could select. I'm not sure if that's an option. I just never seen before. But I hate how TikTok just keeps going and going. But like Reels glitches all the time. Yeah. It doesn't have it has half of the amount of settings and effects and like options and things, doohickeys that you could do that TikTok has, which are really useful when you're trying to tell a story.
Yes.
It's a little... It feels like Reels is trying to catch up to TikTok.
Yeah. I think every platform that has this like short form vertical format is trying to catch up with TikTok. TikTok is still so innovative. They're always coming up with like really cool functions that I'm like, man, technology is getting better and better because those augmented reality filters that I think either Snapchat or Instagram stories were like the first ones to do. TikTok really has taken it to like the next level. Like you can like put makeup on your face now and like it looks pretty real. Like it looks amazing. Like there's like a K-pop filter.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, make you look like a K-pop star. And then there's YouTube, where YouTube has recently adopted YouTube Shorts. And what I want to say about YouTube, how it's changed, is their normal content, the algorithm is strict. It's the most difficult social media platform that I've ever tried to grow on. And Instagram is already kind of hard. but YouTube is hard if you didn't start at least by like 2016. Because even back then it was like fairly kind of easier to grow. Now it's like impossible. Like you really have to be an exceptional filmmaker to get big with YouTube, or an exceptional personality. But I do think it has the most engaged, best audience. So like anybody who's listening to this now on YouTube or are regular watchers of our YouTube videos and stuff, I just see the same people all the time. You guys are funny. I feel like you guys like me for me, and not just what I provide for you. And that's the
You're
same.
not just a dancing monkey to me.
Yeah. And I've always felt that way with the people I follow. Like, I always feel this weird parasocial relationship with my favorite YouTuber or whatever. I feel like I get
you.
Yeah.
I really get you.
Because there's so many people in the same niche, like whether it's news, makeup, fashion, whatever. But I choose to follow you because I like you. Not necessarily because of the content the value that you give me. Not necessarily, like, you might not be the best at fashion, you might not be the best at makeup or whatever, but if I like you, I'll follow you and not, I don't know, Jeffree Star or something. So that's why I love YouTube so much, that I felt like TikTok and Instagram is still missing that. But with YouTube Shorts, we talked about how like Instagram people are really hesitant to adopt Reels. YouTube people are like, no, we're not doing that. Absolutely not. And I don't know why, because YouTube Shorts is like what Instagram Reels was when we first started, when Instagram Reels was just starting, where people were like just reposting TikToks. Right now, Instagram Reels is a little harder because now it has its own thing. YouTube Shorts, there's no one really making YouTube Shorts content for YouTube Shorts. We don't even know what YouTube Shorts is going to look like.
Everybody's just reposting stuff from other platforms,
Yeah.
but no one's ever really had a flavor for what YouTube Shorts are or what to expect from them.
Yeah. So it's super easy to get views on there right now. Probably even easier than Instagram Reels. If you don't know what you're doing, you can literally just post anything and it might go viral. And it's not, the monetization isn't as great as Instagram Reels, but it's still possible compared to TikTok, where it's just like basically non-existent. So very, very exciting. I'm excited. Like, I was very hesitant to post on YouTube Shorts because I just wanted to have a good direction for our YouTube channel first before I decided I want to do that. But now I'm like really, really excited just in general about vertical format. And then very quickly, like, Twitter and Facebook are just irrelevant. Sorry, but like, we researched the number of active users on these platforms. Facebook is actually number 1, but I'm never on it. So I
think it's for all the grandparents.
Yeah, I don't know who's active on Facebook at all, because I'm not. I actually recently was talking to you about, should I just like delete my Facebook, because I'm never on it. It just feels like, why do I have this?
I treat my Instagram like it's Facebook now. Like, I just post stuff once in a while.
Yeah.
I was basically practicing how to post again.
Yeah.
And then thought up of all these ridiculous ideas that we later applied to the main Instagram. And it's been really interesting just seeing how much things have changed. Man, like, you changed, like, for the better and for the worse for a lot of people. Like, it sucks that a lot of people like Charli D'Amelio and that ilk, like, there are some like people who are super famous for just doing the what's the prop like, just like over and over and over again. It's just not working anymore.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Yeah.
But like when we saw Charli D'Amelio basically come out with a vlog like kind of like piece of content, I was just like, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
If Charli's doing it, it's like, geez, this is what's next.
She got to like 100 million by never talking on camera. And then to finally hear her outside of YouTube, hear her like sit down in front of camera in vertical video format and be like, this is my day. I do makeup, I wake up.
Never did that.
She never did that.
Until I like just
recently.
Fairly recently.
Yeah, that's how things are changing.
It's insane.
Even someone like her understands that, like, you can't be doing the same, like, if you see your engagement drop, people like to like blame the app and the algorithm. No, things just got harder. The standards went up, so
you gotta get good.
Yeah,
man.
basically, like, your content is the problem. Like, if people are like complaining about that stuff, I think you need to like humble yourself and understand, like, oh, I just need to get better. It doesn't matter how many views you used to get, because maybe you sucked back then, but like, that was the best of the time. But now there are all these people who are better than you at making content, and you just need to keep up. Otherwise, you're gonna be irrelevant really, really fast. And like, I feel like she or the team around her understands that. But yeah, Twitter and Facebook are relevant. They're for the olds, news, celebrities, and NFTs. And it's mostly just for drama and trash talk. I see it kind of like WWE. Because I don't think any of it is real. I genuinely, I feel like some people's motives on these platforms are just so like just trying to stir up drama just for the engagement. Like, that's how you actually grow on Twitter. You stir up drama and then people want to follow you. So media consumption is changing. And the reason why is, I guess, debatable, but I have my theories. I was scrolling on YouTube, and people can like post polls on their community tab, and I always like to like answer it because I want to see what other people voted. Someone asked their audience, it's a pretty big audience, how do they consume content on YouTube? And the option was on your computer or on your phone. I clicked my phone because that's how I consume most of my YouTube stuff, and lo and behold, 80% of people checked phone. only 20% of people checked desktop computer. And that really like brought things into perspective for me. Why like it was so important to start doing vertical content really hard in 2022, because if people are now not like, we used to consume YouTube on the computer mainly because our phones couldn't do that back in the day. So like all through high school, I would go home and then I watch YouTube on my computer. So now that people are doing it on their phones, it's so much easier to just look at like vertical content on your like while you're on the toilet or something and just swipe. What do you think
about vertical video?
Yeah,
it's the future.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, I think I'm a fan of cinema and cinema wide.
Yeah,
big old scope. I can see everything in my periphery. This is so foreign and unfamiliar to me. But I'm starting to see more and more how you could tell a story with it, and how in like 5 years time there's going to be a whole array of styles and all this stuff. And I just think like resistance is futile.
Yes.
I think you need to surrender to the fact that this is like, I think a lot of the people who are poo-pooing TikTok are kind of fucked right now, because they have no idea how to do a TikTok. And if they did, it would be like if you started TikTok for the first time, you would have no place to start, and it would be much harder, because TikTok, the algorithm is much more strict than it used to be. And I'm thinking like, let's just accept that like vertical video is going to be huge and it's going to be the future. Let's just not debate it, because I feel like if you just try it, if you just do it and it happens, then great. But if it doesn't happen, you've gained a new skill.
Yes.
You know how to tell a story through vertical. So you could mix it in with your YouTube videos. You could advertise your merchandise or whatever, your podcast on vertical. It's a useful skill at the very least.
Yeah.
You know, and I just think it's going to be like, I think everybody on YouTube is like, oh, where's the next Casey Neistat? I don't think the next Casey Neistat's on YouTube, or like in the next Casey Neistat's not going to look like Casey Neistat. It's not going to look like, there's a camera and there's all the things. That's Casey Neistat. I'm thinking that the next person who's going to change the game like Casey Neistat is going to do it in short form. And I'm super excited to see what they're going to do with that, because I'm already like thinking of like creative ways to tell a story and string stories together. But I'm thinking like, man, I only have so much time to dedicate to this. This is like, literally I only have an hour, and like I just have to shit something out. And that's how we approach it. But like, man, like people have more time than us. Like there's like so many things, creative things you could do with this thing. And now that algorithms are more forgiving for this type of stuff. Like, why not try it at least?
Why do you think there's hesitation to adopt this?
I think people are hesitant because they are afraid of change. I think the people who are rewarded for Instagram are like, they understand what that high is like, and they don't want to do any sort of work to get it again, because they feel like they've made it,
yeah.
And they're owed it. You know what I mean? They're not gonna work. Like it's still work to post a TikTok. It's like an hour at least to post a TikTok you care about, like at least. And I think a lot of people are just super hesitant to try something new. And I think there's a huge stigma to it. And I think people our age are super self-conscious about how other people perceive them. And I think that's what holds them back. But like, I just think that's good. Let them be held back, because the people who are brave enough to act a fool are clearly being rewarded here.
Do you think people, especially artists, are not adopting it because they don't like how they come across on video?
I think that's a huge part of it. Like if like for example, Ross Tran took forever to exist in the art community. No one was ever like, I'm a public figure, you're gonna know me for my face, not just for my art style, right? Let's say. And I think I mentioned before, like, they're like, when Ross came out, that was like,
it's pretty late.
That was late. Yeah. Like a whole like Philip DeFranco, like all these people
already existed.
Rice Gum, Jake Paul, all these people, like they've existed, and it's just like our artists are so late. So late to all of this stuff. And like that's the thing that I can always count on. Always. Like if there is ever a horse to bet on, it's the fact that like artists will be 3 years behind.
They'll be the last
like the cutting edge
adopting anything
of the internet. Yeah, and it's just like it's upsetting to me because like I think short like we can poo-poo short form content originated from this very dumb kiddie thing like TikTok, and it's stupid because a lot of, you know, snooty film cinema people like us are like cinema wide is the way.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you watch. You're dreaming in cinema. Yeah. This is abomination. All sorts of that like huffy puffy stuff. But like I just think like, who gives a shit? 20 years from now, it doesn't really matter, will it? 20 years from now won't really matter. So you might as well just do it. And that's my attitude towards this. It's just like, it's fun to discover a form of storytelling or a way to tell a story that no one has ever taken seriously before.
Yeah.
But like, what if you did though? Mm-hmm. What if you actually took it as seriously as somebody who's like running a TV show at NBC, for example?
Like, how good can you make it?
How good could you make it?
And like the definition of good has changed too, because like what I noticed is like the higher quality the camera that you're shooting on, like let's say you're shooting on a DSLR or like a Sony mirrorless camera for your shorts, like you literally just turned it sideways
That's
to do
a
it.
no.
People don't really like that.
Yeah.
Like people are kind of taken aback. They want to see footage that's shot on an iPhone or similar, because it's a lot more relatable.
It needs to have that feel of like you whipped out your phone to capture this scene, and it doesn't feel like it's not like it's cheating that you used the better camera. It just, you're distancing your content from the people who want to feel like, oh, this is like something I can do, or this is just like something I'm used to.
Yeah. So arguably, if you're shooting on like a really, let's say you're shooting a TikTok on a cinema camera, I bet someone will do that one day. But like, imagine you do that. Technically, that is a higher quality image, but compared to someone that just whipped out their phone and filmed something really, really, really relatable, that more relatable TikTok is a higher quality TikTok. So the concept, the standard of what quality means has changed. Whereas like on YouTube, there was like this era of like one-upping each other of like, how crazy can your YouTube setup be? It used to be like people just filmed on their webcams, and then people got DSLR cameras, and then people got like the Sony mirrorless cameras, and then they got like the like Black Magic cameras, and then they got the cinema cameras, and then the drones, and the oh my god. And it got to a point where like, if you wanted to be the next Casey Neistat, you felt like you needed like a Canon like D Mark V, whatever it's called, and that's like a $5,000 camera. Like what 18-year-old, what 16-year-old has that money? And people like Peter McKinnon and all these people who like have gone on to like direct documentaries and all this stuff. It just like, there's a level of quality to YouTube that is really hard to achieve now. But like, quality doesn't mean that on TikTok. Quality just means quality of content, which is really fascinating to me. But a lot of people on YouTube and on Instagram have egos, where like they feel like, no, I'm all about quality, and in their mind, quality is really high quality picture. Like, I have to shoot it on like a mirrorless camera with like a really, really nice lens and expensive equipment, and I have to like flex how hard I know how to like I am the best, I am better than every single other influencer out there. Whereas like I think it takes some humility and some like self-awareness to just be like, yeah, I can do that, but I don't need to like flex every time.
Not every time.
I can just like throw up a TikTok and like whatever. I think that's part of why people are hesitant on YouTube, especially. But I also think it hurts to bleed.
Oh,
it hurts to bleed followers.
For other people.
Yeah.
For me, I'm betting like, how low can we go?
Yeah.
I want to see like I'm literally seeing like I wonder if we can go to like, I'm wondering if we could go to 50, and if we go back to 50, I'm wondering if we go to 40. I'm wondering how low can we go? How low where's the lowest until we start growing again?
Yeah.
If it never happens, that would be hilarious.
Yeah.
We went from 50 to 0.
Yeah.
In a year. But then I'm thinking like, wouldn't it be fascinating to know though?
Yeah.
For other people who are afraid to just do a new thing, wouldn't it be helpful for other people to know when is it that you start growing again?
Yeah, when you change and adopt a format too that like nobody wants.
But for other people, I assume, like, for example, if you're a person on any platform who has like, let's say 200 to 500 subscribers, followers, whatever, and you're used to your content usually getting like, I don't know, like 100K a day if once it gets released or something like that. And let's say you get a little curious, you get a little artistic, you want to express yourself, but then you're afraid to. But then, okay, fine, you come out with a piece of content that's more more personal, and only has like 300 views in its first release day. That hurts. For someone like that.
Yeah. When you're used to getting like hundreds of thousands of views, or even like tens of thousands of views, and suddenly like you're trying this new thing and it only gets like a few hundred views, oh, that hurts your pride. And I didn't understand this at first until we started doing this, because we have widely different numbers on all 3 platforms. We have like the lowest numbers on YouTube, like 50-ish K on Instagram, and then like 200K on TikTok. The psychology of this was different for me personally across all different platforms. On YouTube, I started posting shorts this past week, and I didn't think much of it. Because YouTube is so difficult, and because I've changed my niche, we average around 300 to 400 views per video. So if seeing like anywhere between 0 to that much views on a short, whatever, it doesn't matter to me. It's not
no big deal.
Yeah, it's not like hugely different in numbers. Like if I only got like 100, it's only like 200 less than normal. Like it doesn't matter to me. Whereas like on Instagram, when we're used to seeing, let's say like 10K views or something on a normal, I don't know, drawing reel or something, and then you get like, I don't know, 1,000 views, and then you start losing followers, it hurts your pride a little bit. But then it's even worse on an app like on when you have like 200K on TikTok, and you're used to getting like 10,000, a few thousand views per, and then you get like 500. That's like ooh, that hurts. But at the end of the day, like these numbers don't mean anything, because these are people who would have never kept up with you, bought anything, done anything for you anyways. And I can only imagine if you had bigger numbers than us.
Ooh.
Like that must really hurt. If you've been doing this for so long, you have like millions of subscribers, followers, and you post something and it like doesn't do well, that must hurt your pride more than it does us, because we don't care. We're like,
fuck it, dog. Life's a risk, man.
Yeah, we're like
numbers,
crazy.
Fuck
like
it,
that.
dude. We're gonna make all sorts of weird, crazy art, man.
Like, I don't care if you don't like us. This was never for you. So like that's what people don't understand. Whenever people like try to like criticize me, they try to like mock me and like numbers or whatever. Like I don't care. Clearly you do, because you care so much about my numbers, but like I don't care about my numbers. I'm shocked that anybody listens to us. Genuinely, I'm shocked that anybody watches me, anyone has anything even negative to say about me, because I'm like, why are you wasting your time? Honestly, I think that's why. Like there's a lot of like vanity, psychological stuff going on, why people are not willing to adopt change. But I think it's inevitable. I think it is here to stay, and it's going to be growing into the near future.
Who are we recommending, Janet?
We are recommending Mandelbro. I think
Mandelbro.
That's how you pronounce his YouTube handle. He is an amazing, talented kid who is trying to document his whole entire experience, trying to make it as an independent musician.
A lot of drive, a lot of ganas.
And
the boy has a lot of ganas.
An amazing filmmaker and storyteller.
Yeah.
he came out with his like announcement video that he's gonna do this. It's this crazy lofty goal of like he's gonna play sold out live shows by the end of the year, but he's starting at 0. Like he doesn't even have a band yet. I am very excited for him. He just posted his first episode. It is amazing.
He made it like it's like a TV show.
Yes,
you know?
and
Amazing.
I'm very impressed by this guy's ability to tell this story and to take the risk and do this thing. While you're young, you should chase after your dreams and do risky things like that. Because, like, what you got
Life's
to lose?
a risk, man. What do you got to lose, man? It's just numbers.
Yeah.
Numbers, man.
If you like this video, check out these other episodes over here to binge all our other episodes, and we will see you next time.
Bye-bye.